Hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. So there's an article published by SEOjobs.com, and the title of the article is State of the SEO Job Market Q1 2024. And I'm going to dissect this article over here. I've been through it a few times, and there are things here that are worth mentioning that are not mentioned in the article. And if you've not read the article, I strongly urge that you read this article, especially if you're in the SEO industry or you're thinking about getting into it, or you're thinking about, probably switching your job and, getting a job as an SEO. Even though you might be able to get a job, and even though you might be able to do very well for yourself, you're probably an outlier. And now before I go into the video, I just want to say I offer SEO services. There's a link in the description to my website, cloudseodubai.com. Just go there. You can buy my consultation service by the hour. You can buy my website audit service by the hour. You can also hire me to do monthly SEO. But if you want to hire me to do monthly SEO, you'll have to go to the Google form to the bottom of the description. Go there and fill out your information so that I can email you and set up a time to discuss exactly what you need. And so that way I understand what you need, provide you with a quote accordingly, and then go from there. Now, if anyone who signs up for my SEO service needs to bear in mind is that you're not going to see results yesterday. You're not going to see results tomorrow. Results take time to be delivered, especially if your website is going into a downward trajectory. If your website is going down, it's been going down for a few months, I'm not going to be able to turn your website around in 3 months or even 4 months. It will take time depending on the industry. The more competitive the industry, the longer it takes. If you've been hit by a Google penalty, like the March core algorithm update, recovering from that takes even longer. And so if you're coming to me, you think I'm going to do a magic job, or I'm going to do, I don't know, I'm going to wave my SEO wand and kind of rank you. It's not going to happen. Save your money. Don't come to me. Go to some other SEO company that promises to do that. A lot promised to do that, but yeah, as I will talk about in another video, that there are people that have been conned by SEOs. But that's regardless. Let's go into the article. So the article over here says that is SEO truly dying? SEO job listings are down minus 37% in Q1 of 2024 compared to 2023. Now, over here, it's worth mentioning that this is for the U.S. So these are U.S. figures. Also, we're going into the election year. This is the election year. The election is later this year. And so when that usually happens, things kind of wind down for the SEO industry in the U.S. And so this is not reflective of SEO jobs in Dubai or the Philippines or whatever. That being said, SEO jobs in Dubai are not great to begin with, and you're not going to see a lot of jobs over here anyways. So let's get into, let me just maximize this a little bit because my eyes are weak and I can't really read what's going on here. Okay, so it says, when you log into LinkedIn, it's not uncommon to read about someone being made redundant or companies connecting layoffs. With the changes organic search has been through lately, especially with the recent launch of AI Answers, previously SGE. One of the most common questions is, what is the current state of the SEO job market? Now, I'll stop right here and I'll say, over the past week, I've been offered 2 SEO jobs on LinkedIn. People have reached out to me. People have asked if I was available to work for their company as a full-time employee. Thing is, I have my own business and I have my own website, so I don't really need to work for another company, need to work for another business, and especially not for the money that they're offering, because I'll make way more than they would ever want to pay me. And so I get these offers and I politely decline them because I know it's just not for me. And so what they're usually looking for is someone who's an entry-level SEO, is smart enough to pick things up, but is also dumb enough to work for a corporate organization where they see absolutely no growth, but they're there for the salary, they're there for the risk-free experience. They just do the job for as long as they want, and then they switch to a better job, and they do the same thing at the next job. And that's really what an SEO job is. It's not like you're going to be a master SEO working for an agency or working for a company, because there's just that ceiling where you cannot go beyond. And so if you think, if you're going to work for an SEO company and make a lot of money, it's not going to happen. Sorry. So anyway, so here's the next thing. So what that did was, and you can read them, and I strongly urge you again, read the article, because I'm just going to pick stuff out of here which I want to discuss. So it says the raw data represents 80,000 then active job listings from 47,000 employers published in 2023 and 2024 through March. In attempt to isolate variables, I created two data sets. One looks just at Q1 2024 using job boards indexed to 2023 so that the increased scale of source tasks database wouldn't inflate the numbers. So minus 15K unique jobs listed data points. I also isolated job boards indexed first in 2022 to normalize job posts throughout 2023 and Q1 2024, and there were minus 6,000 unique job listing data points. And so what is this in a nutshell is that there are 50,000 fewer jobs on average than they were in 2023 and 2022, perhaps. And the reason for that is not SGE. It's not that the SEO market is dying. It's not any of that. It's just that it's this natural decline that happens when there's overhiring, which was going on after COVID restrictions were recently lifted. And so people were hiring, and Google hired, Twitter hired, and then, we all know people started getting fired. When people started getting fired, it's a top-down effect. So everyone lower down their employee kind of, lose their jobs. And so a lot of the mega clients that some SEOs had or some agencies had, they kind of lost them after COVID, because during COVID, especially e-commerce stores and even service-based businesses that were virtual were seeing this explosion in traffic, and they were seeing this explosion in people buying from them. And so if you ask any e-commerce store owner, they'll say, yeah, our sales were great during COVID. And it was for every e-commerce store out there. Their sales were great. That was a time when they could spend money. They could spend on more SEO. They could spend on expensive SEO. So they would go and they would hire the biggest, baddest, most expensive agencies to do the SEO for them. And those agencies would then employ more people, albeit not the brightest bunch, but get them to work for them. But once those clients kind of dried out because their finances dried out after COVID restrictions were lifted, those sales kind of dried. And with the sales drying, the money they had dried, they fired the SEO agency. They hired someone to do SEO in-house, or they probably hired a first cousin to do it for them. And they're kind of doing the SEO for the company because they're not making as much as they used to during COVID. But the drawback to that is that since the agency lost the contract, everyone that's in the company is now a liability, and the company starts firing people. Hence, there are fewer jobs in the job market. And so it's not SGE. SGE hasn't killed any jobs. At least that's not my opinion, but your opinion might differ. So using the known job boards index in 2022, the data suggests that SEO jobs are down on average minus 30%, 37% in Q1 to 2024 compared to 2023. As you can see, they say there was a peak here, first quarter, January 2023, and then there's first quarter, January here, that's 2024, and it's like significantly less. And it's to be expected because, as I mentioned, businesses are not doing great. There's also kind of like a mini recession that's going on in the U.S., and so it's not that there's not a lot of expendable income because after everyone was being given free money, now everyone is expected to pay higher taxes to make up for the free money that they got. So nothing really is free, especially when it comes to the government. They're not paying you out of their pockets. Plus, they need to pay themselves. So you've got to pay for the bureaucracy. So additional 2024 Q1 SEO jobs insights. So you can see over here, Q1 2024, October, November, December was great. And then it kind of tapers off starting in 2024. So January is half of what it was in December. February is even lower. March is somewhat better, but it's not where it was in 2024. So it says, how did USA SEO job listings trend in quarter one? So SEO jobs in the United States are trending up month over month going into Q2 or Q4, but are down compared to Q4 2023. So yeah, the trend is going up, but it's still lower. And this will continue until the election season is over and until sales kind of stop picking up for a lot of e-commerce stores. And then there are what are the top countries hiring SEOs that are non-US. And so you've got Germany, you've got United Kingdom, you've got India, and France is seeing this huge surge in people getting hired for SEO positions. And then there are the Philippines. And so the reason I see France kind of going upwards is there's kind of this resurgence. Mainly people are starting to buy a lot of stuff online. and they don't trust Amazon as much as they used to. There's some regulations in the EU that kind of led to Amazon kind of being exposed. And there's a documentary you'll find on Google, on YouTube, that kind of goes into how Amazon exploits businesses. But by and large, people are kind of moving away from Amazon in France and other European countries. So there's a surge in people buying online, buying from individual websites that they trust. There's still a long way to go. I'm not going to say that Amazon is dead or anything. Still a very long way to go, but I think it's moving in the right direction. So the company location by states, and this is a map of this is a hotspot map of all the places that are hiring. All companies still hiring SEOs remotely in 2024. So this is interesting. So they're asking whether companies are still hiring remote SEOs. So it says reports indicate a significant increase in remote positions were published through Q3 of 2023, despite the many non-remote roles established in Q4 2023. Q1 has shown a resurgence in remote SEO roles across job listings. Also because at the end of the day, businesses are trying to cut costs. Businesses are trying to be more competitive, especially against smaller firms or the smaller digital marketing agencies that are working out of literally nothing. So they're working out of cubicles. So they're trying to be competitive with that. And if that means that some of the employees work 3 days a week from home and that saves money, that's kind of good for them. So they're going that way if they can offer clients a lower price. The problem with this approach is, trying to offer the client the lowest price is that you're also offering the lowest quality SEO. I mean, it's not like agencies are a great quality SEO to begin with, but it's like they're kind of lowering the quality even lower. And so a lot of the SEO work I see being doing right now is, let's try to rank the client within 6 months so that they sign like a permanent contract. Once they get on the permanent contract, we'll kind of not work as hard and try to get another client in. And then the client spends more money and they'll ask the client for more money. At the end of the day, you're going to end up paying a client, or a business can end up paying upwards of $60K a year just on SEO and not seeing results. Or even, when they do away with the SEO agency, they kind of see their results go down or their positions go down, especially because the SEO work wasn't great, or when there's an algorithm update, they're hit so hard that it's very hard for them to recover because of those bad SEO tactics. And the SEO agency says, you know what, we're trying. They try as long as they want to try or they can try before they get fired. They still made their money, but they muddy the waters for all the other SEOs that are working hard to rank clients. So that's the agency model really. And when a client says they're leaving me for a larger agency, I kind of know what they're going to get, but it's not like warning them is going to help them in any way. If they want to go to a larger agency, they think they're going to get a better job than a larger agency, they're welcome to try, but they're going to pay 4 times as much. They're going to end up with far less in terms of SEO, and they might even lose their website altogether. So, it's just really up to you. All right, so I digress. So do SEO job listings include salary transparency? So the SEO industry struggles with job salary transparency, with only 18% of listings providing any monetary value or range. I anticipate this will slowly change as more U.S. states legally require companies to be transparent with salaries. Yeah. Well, they're not transparent with salaries because they have no idea how long the clients are going to stick around for, and also how many clients they're going to have. They kind of work on this contingency salary strategy where they say, we'll maybe start you off at $3,000, and then, if you perform well, we'll give you $5,000, and we'll kind of, there's a 6-month probationary period or something like that. But it's not really if you are an SEO that knows your stuff and you can rank sites, you should be building your own sites, you should be building your own brand. You should be working for yourself, because that's the ultimate challenge for an SEO. But once you're able to do that for yourself, build your own income using SEO, that's when you will really be independent, and that's where you will really shine as having someone that has skills and not just someone who is trying to go find a job. Because with a job, you're not really answerable to anyone, just your boss. And so you're working there, there's no accountability really just to your boss, and you can just BS your boss too, because most bosses have no idea what they're doing. They there just as uninformed as their employees, and so it's just the blind leading the blind. I don't know, guys. Let me know how your job hunt has been, and if you've been able to find an SEO job as of late. As I said, I was offered 2 jobs this week and turned them both down for obvious reasons. But let me know if you've been successful. Like and subscribe as always.